Hi everyone, Ashlyn Giza YouTube channel. Today I'm going to talk about my father. The reason why I'm going to talk about my father today is because it's actually his happy heavenly birthday. So he would have been 64, I think is what me and my husband calculated yesterday when I was thinking about him. So I decided that today I'm going to make this video for him. So my dad was very funny. He liked to joke around all the time about a bunch of different things. He liked all the vacation movies, and he just liked movies that were like that. So he liked comedies and stuff like that. So he liked Caddyshack, he liked Groundhog Day, he liked just all those good 80s and 90s movies, comedies. So he was really funny, and he was a very smart man too, and he you know, at times of course could have got out of hand with things. I feel now, looking back, that like I understand why he went overboard with things, and I understand that he came from a different country than the United States. He came from the Philippines, so you know, I feel their discipline there is much stricter than here in America, which is good. In my opinion, I feel like kids need more discipline here in America, but you know, it was some things that he did were a little abusive, but I talk about that in my other videos, but we're not going to talk about that today. We're just going to talk about my dad and the good things about him. So, one thing that my dad loved to do growing up was wrestling. I have one of his medals right here that he got for wrestling. He also was in the Gazette for wrestling, and one of his wrestling coaches came to his funeral and talked about how my dad had to get to a certain weight, so he made him run along with this bus that was full of all the other wrestling crew. So I remember that coach telling that story, and I remember that I guess my dad was in the newspaper and they talked about what good of a wrestler he was. So that was pretty cool. I also wanted to show you guys a couple of his wrestling pictures. So hold on. This is crazy. This is his high school yearbook, 1976. Look at that. And I got to keep it. I inherited it. So hold on a second and let me find where my dad was in here. It's going to be a minute, so hold on. I should have had this bookmarked before I did the video, but again, there's another one of those things where you just don't think about it before you do it. You just do it. So I'm just going to go ahead and the index and look for his name so I can find where the pages are so I don't have to sit here. So 92, 93, and 130. So 130. Oh, here's my dad in one picture that I came across before I even got to his wrestling pictures. There he is, smiling when he's young in high school, and he made that little monkey right there. He carved that little monkey. So that was pretty cool. My dad was artistically inclined, so he did things like that. He carved that monkey. He painted. He was really good at painting. I'm going to show you guys one of his painting. But all his other paintings, I think my brothers and sisters have, and other relatives. So I don't have a lot of his paintings. I just have I have the very last painting that he was going to paint before he passed away. So to me, that's more special than his other paintings because it was the one that he was working on, the very last one he was working on before he passed away. So trying to still get to his wrestling picture right now. I have a feeling it should be coming up soon. Okay, here's another picture of my dad that I came across before his wrestling picture. He's right there. It's just funny in the 70s how they dressed up. They actually dressed up for the pictures, but I like that. I think that's pretty cool, and I think people should still do that for their school pictures. They should still dress up. It should still be a thing. I mean, like, for family pictures and stuff like that, it kind of gets kind of old, like, all matching and wearing the same thing and doing the same thing that everybody else does. But for school pictures and stuff like that, I feel like we should still be dressing up. Because we'll we won't be young again. So I'm still going through the sports pages of my dad's yearbook. Sorry, it only said 3 different numbers, but for some reason. Okay, here is my dad in his wrestling picture. There he is on the very bottom left corner. Right here. In his wrestling uniform in high school. And here is him taking somebody down. It says Ben flips his washman over because he must have been going against a kid out in Washington High School. So he loved wrestling. I even did a tribute tattoo for him. It still has yet to be finished, so don't laugh, but I did do a tribute tattoo for him on my leg, because I'm a leg tattoo person. As you can see, I have tattoos all across my legs, but I have one up here too for my cancer ribbon and my son, but that's for a different day. But so it's not finished yet, but this is the American tattoo that for wrestlers. For Americans. So, it's a man down here grabbing and flipping over another man, like, from behind and flipping him backwards. So, I know that looks a little funny, but if you Google it, it is online. So, and then on top of that, it's his birthday. So you guys probably can't see it because it's really blurry and I'm moving the camera around, but he was born 1957 and he passed away in 2013, and his birthday exact day was August 19th, which is today. So that's why I chose to do the video on him. So that's pretty cool. And then he also loved the Iowa Hawkeye football team here in Cedar Rapids, Iowa City. And I have a whole big collectible shelf of Hawkeye stuff. But my dad, his funeral picture was actually in a Hawkeye. He was in a Hawkeye shirt, a Hawkeye football shirt. So I thought that was pretty cool to put him up there with my Hawkeye stuff, because he liked the Hawkeyes too, and he had the Hawkeye shirt on, so that meant a lot. I've talked about these plants in my video about plants, but these were actually my dad's funeral plants. These were there, and a new plant is growing down here. Same kind of plant, but a new one. So I'm really happy about that because it's making me feel like he's still around with that new growth. So, and then, let me turn on the light and go back here, and I was going to show you guys his painting and his plaque. So, up here in my room, up top there, you guys can't see what it says, but that's a plaque that my dad got for his old job that he used to have for like, I think 20 some, close to 30 years. He worked there at this nuclear power plant. And I won't say the exact name of the place because I don't know if I can, but he got an award, a plaque for working there. Right here is the last painting that he was working on before he passed away, and he never got to finish it because he had a massive heart attack and he passed away. I'll tell you guys exactly what happened after I show you guys a few things. But see this picture right here of the mountains and that waterfall? My dad took that picture and then he was working on painting it. So he was really good at painting. I mean, that's not even a finished painting and you can already tell what it was supposed to be. So it was awesome. And you know, I don't have much else of my father's or anything like that. I do have another picture of him actually up here when he was younger. Or older, I mean, excuse me. And he's with my daughter. He's actually with my oldest daughter in that picture, so that's a really old picture. But yeah, what happened, I look like crap and stuff just because I've been taking care of my sick baby, and then I've been depressed about my stepfather passing away last week, and then today is a hard day for me because it's my biological dad's birthday, and he's not with us anymore. He's passed away, so it's been kind of a hard day, and a lot of people would, you know, a lot of people can easily let something like that go. They can not like let it go, but like some people are like, you know, your dad's been gone for quite a while, so, you know, kind of like get over it type thing. But that's, you know, I've accepted it. Not that I am over it, but I've accepted it. I've accepted my dad's gone, so I'm not like staying there in that stuck place being sad about my dad being gone. But when it's his birthday or his death anniversary or anything like that, it just makes the day kind of hard. And other people who have had like a family member pass away or their father pass away, you know exactly what I'm talking about. So what happened was he was having heart issues, and we all kind of a little bit knew because we were finding like medications in his cupboards, and we saw like insulin in his refrigerator and different weird things like that, showing signs that he wasn't healthy. And then my mom saw him, and his eyes were really puffy, like he had no sleep and like dehydrated and just not looking good. And we all just knew something wasn't right. And I actually had called my mom and told my mom I found heart medication in his closet. So anyways, time went by, and my dad was riding his bike with some lady that he was dating, or whatever you want to call it. I wouldn't say he was dating her. She was just a young girl he was trying to impress, honestly. But because he never talked about her to me or the family, so that just shows how really not important this girl was. But he went riding on a bike with her and on a trail here in Iowa, and he had a massive heart attack. And what I heard, I don't know exactly how this went down because I wasn't there, and I'm kind of glad I wasn't there because I wouldn't be able to handle this. What I heard happened was he started having a heart attack and was like foaming from the mouth. He called my sister and told her to come to him, and she called an ambulance. And it was really strange because the girl that he was riding on the trail with didn't call anybody, and my sister claims that she was just kind of standing there like in shock, like just looking at my dad. Now that's weird. Why wouldn't you try to go get some help, or like call 911, or like scream that you needed help? Like, that makes no sense to me. I don't know. And so anyways, my sister got the ambulance, and my sister was there, the ambulance got there, and my dad got lifted up to Iowa City here in Iowa, and to the big hospital, and he stayed there for a while, and for a couple like weeks, and we all went to visit him and stuff like that. And I was in a really abusive relationship during this time, and so I couldn't see him every single day like I should have, because I listened to the guy, and I was afraid of the guy, and I also was having to hear a bunch of crap when I would get home. Like, if I wanted to go visit my dad, it was like a big nuisance for this guy, and he'd be asking me why everybody's calling me late at night about my dad and stuff like that, which is just really strange, because it shouldn't matter what time of the night it is. My dad was dying, and there was things that people needed to talk to me about, of course, you know. So, but I was being mentally abused, which is, to me, worse than physical abuse. But so I didn't even really know what I was doing at the time, but I got to see my dad a couple of times, thank God. And because it was like 30 to 45 minutes away from where I live, so I drove there and saw him a couple times, and I got to tell him I was sorry, because we were arguing when we fought, which I talk about in another video. But he was on, you know, a life support for a while, and then they took him off the breathing tube, and then he passed away. So that's the death of my dad. But he was a very fun, loving person. Aside from some of the abusive moments he had, he took us on family vacations. He took us shopping. He took us out to eat. He loved getting us all together in the living room and watching movies and talking, just talking, and loved to get us all at the dinner table like a normal family should. What is normal? We don't know. Nobody's really normal, to be honest, but the traditional family way where people sat at a dining room table, he liked us all sitting around at the dining room table together. So I remember that too, and there was good memories about that. So there was some bad, but there was good memories about that. So I'm glad that he, you know, drugged me around when I was a teenager and took me places that I didn't want to go, because now that I'm older and I'm looking back, I'm glad that he took me, I went with, and he made me and my brothers and sisters go. Because now that I have my kids of my own, I realize how important it is to all spend time together, because time goes by too fast and life is too short. So, and my dad always used to say, life is what you make it. So, obviously he didn't make that quote up, but he always used to like say that or something along those lines, because he really wanted to emphasize to us that we're responsible for our own happiness, and we're also responsible for the way our life turns out. So if we chose our life to be going down a bad path, then it's going to go down a bad path. But if we chose happiness and we chose positivity, then that's what our life was going to be. And it's true too, because have you ever like been really annoyed with someone or angry with someone, but you actually reacted to them in a positive way, and then things actually turned out better than you thought, just because you didn't have to go through an argument because you were killing that person with kindness? So, I mean, he was right about a lot of stuff, and my mom wouldn't agree with this. My mom wouldn't agree with what I'm about to say, but I'm a lot more like my dad than I thought I was, and I'm a lot more like my dad than other people think I am, because my personality and the way I talk may not be like him, but there's a lot of things that I like that he liked. I liked painting, I like fishing, I like the football sport, I like sports in general. I was really athletic when I was younger. I liked being, I was in jazz, tap, ballet, taekwondo, and I like watching football and sometimes basketball. So I mean, I took a lot after my dad, but yet I wasn't as close to my dad as I was with my mom, because my dad was at work all the time. My dad worked all the time, day and night, 7 in the morning to 7 at night. So I didn't get to see him a whole lot, but I'm a lot more like him than I thought. And he was right about a lot of things that he taught me. So happy birthday to my dad. And for all of you out there who have lost their fathers and stuff like that, I truly, sincerely know how you feel. It does get easier with time, but of course our dads, my dad, everyone's dads, they're never forgotten. Our loved ones are never forgotten. So it gets easier, but they're never forgotten, and their death anniversaries are always hard. So, I don't know, but that's a little video I wanted to do for my dad, since it's his birthday today. And I actually am going to go see him this weekend, go visit his grave this weekend, and buy him some nice flowers and a balloon or something for his birthday. So, or let go of a balloon for him in the air for his birthday. So, but anyways, I will be on with another life topic. Thank you.